High sound.
Time to finally raise a Super Bowl banner in Philadelphia. I'm the coach, and this is the return of the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight, we kick off the new season with the return of Carson Wentz, ready to go in Week 1 as the Super Bowl champion Eagles take on the new $100 million man, Matt Ryan, and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back at halftime with a look ahead to the weekend. But for now, let's get to Philly and say hello for the first time to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
The exhibition season is over. It's time to play for real as the 2018 NFL season is underway. And he's going to be out of bounds here on the return at his own 2-yard line. So a long field ahead for the Falcon offense as they head out. They'll be led out by a man in his 11th year now at the helm of the Falcons, the 2016 NFL MVP, Matt Ryan.
What a season Matt Ryan had in 2016 where he led the NFL in so many different categories as a quarterback. Numbers dropped in 2017, but the team still qualified for the playoffs, took down the higher-seeded Rams in L.A. before losing a tough one in Philadelphia to the eventual Super Bowl champions. Matt Ryan, he makes them go in Atlanta.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Nigel Bradham brings him down. And here are the Falcon offensive starters.
4 straight seasons of 1,000 yards for Julio Jones as wide receiver. One of the strongest receivers in the league. Runs over defensive backs, but also thinks his way through the game. Really knows how to collaborate with his quarterback, Matt Ryan.
Play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well.
And now he's going to go down in the end zone. Down goes Matt Ryan, and that's a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's pile this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Now, after the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic 1st down.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll run it here with Adams. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Tack McKinley able to drop him for a loss of 4.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. Now Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. Across the 45 before he's brought down. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Can't have enough good pass-catching tight ends in the NFL. And the Eagles, they wanted to replenish their stock. They lost Trey Burton in the offseason, so they selected Dallas Goedert out of South Dakota State in the 2nd round, and he is nothing but a big-time pass catcher.
What a great story, because South Dakota State didn't offer him a scholarship out of high school. He walked on there.
Yeah, so now Zach Ertz has a running mate at tight end.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while, because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive. Carson Wentz, that's his first touchdown pass since December 10th of last year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
I do believe we came here to see a game, didn't we? And it looks like he's running what we call routes versus air. You just go out there with your offensive unit and throw the football with no defense. He's 5 for 5 on the opening drive.
He was on his game there for drive number 1, but my only thing is now he can't go any higher than that. He was so perfect. Can he do it again later?
Yeah, all he cares about right now is making it 10 for 10, 15 for 15.
Keeping that going.
And he feels like he can get it done.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes this a 9-point game. That time a 9-play drive, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Falcons offense, Charles, heading back out there, coming off a 10-6 season, made the playoffs again, but coming off the previous season when they blew that Super Bowl to the Patriots, I think a lot of folks were expecting more in 2017. So now turn the page. What can we expect this year?
They want to return to explosiveness on offense. I mean, that's what they've got to get to. You mentioned 2016. They rolled up points like crazy. Absolutely obliterated people on the offensive side of the ball. They want to get back to that. Get Julio Jones, get him sprung free again. But they drafted Calvin Ridley out of Alabama to help with that. All right, they can run the football, obviously, with Devontae Freeman. On the defensive side, the mantra is speed, speed, speed. And they want to get Vic Beasley back chasing the quarterback where he led the league in sacks 2 seasons ago.
Now Ryan on second down. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1, you know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
On first down, Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. That'll bring up second down. And we peek at the defense now for Philadelphia.
One of the heroes of the Eagles Super Bowl winning team is Brandon Graham. 9.5 sacks in 2000 when he stripped the football from Tom Brady late to seal their Super Bowl win. And he did it from the defensive tackle position. Normally a defensive end, kicked inside and made the biggest play of his life.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again, Ryan. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. This is Coleman. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd down, Ryan. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The defending champion Eagles looking good thus far in their first game since Super Bowl 52. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. didn't happen on that play.
Flushed out right. He's going to let this go deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 42. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 49 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
On 2nd down, Adams. There he goes inside the 30 and down to the 29-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. A full start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. They go play action here on 1st down. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Terrell McClain continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the 1st half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
Right side is Jeffrey. The ball comes out, and the Falcons say they have it. They do. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gordon, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 1st and 10 following the fumble recovery. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Coleman. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were. I think he's a little trigger-happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. On 3rd down, Ryan. Coleman has it here right side. And now running right through it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And across the midfield, stripe into Eagle territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. He goes full extension, and he's got it. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Coleman now. across the 30 down to the 29-yard line. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Staying on the ground, this time it's Smith. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They go play action now. Ryan. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jordan Hicks in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long.
You and I both know we're into a whole new realm of football because we're not just looking at tendencies anymore. We're looking at analytics, and I've got to think the analytics on 3rd and 1 say run the football.
And Bryant's kick is good. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Eagles offense heading out. You know, last year at this time, Charles, we said this was a franchise that's kind of been in neutral for a while. They're not neutral anymore. Defending Super Bowl champs. What do you think, favorites again?
I think so, because this team has few holes, if any. Look, your quarterback, Carson Wentz, gets hurt before the season's over. His backup, Nick Foles, wins Super Bowl MVP. Wentz probably would have won the regular season if he finished out the year. Offensive line, one of the best in the game. Passing game keeps getting better. Multiple runners who can run it and catch it. Flip it over to defense. Tremendous defensive front. They can just swarm and get after you. Great coordinator, very creative. The big thing for them, they'll have to take everyone's best shot week in and week out during the season.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. On play action, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preach, it's coach, it's thought about.
Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Well, right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
This is Clement, and he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A gain of 3, second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Over 70 yards receiving now for him in this first half alone, as he's got a first down on that last catch.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. On second down, here's Wentz. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he lost the football. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. 4th-round guy, and many thought that's about where he would go. But I think he's got some upside, right?
He can come right in and be what they call a core special teams player, play on all 4 phases of it, and have a chance to work his way into the lineup. I think a year or 2 down the road, they could have a solid starter.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Here's Coleman. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. Of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Brown. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. They've got the lead. They haven't really had to utilize him all that much so far, but I guess if you're winning on the scoreboard, not too much to complain about.
Not at all, but you know those guys out wide. They want as many catches as they can possibly get. They may need him later on if things get a little tighter.
Yeah, so far 2 catches. We'll see what happens here as the game progresses. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wentz now on first down. And his throw is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
2-jet.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Wentz. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
After the interception, here's Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. The Falcons on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Again, Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They give him a gain of 38. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener, as we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Looking forward to joining the crew this year. We'll get back to you guys in Philly in just a moment, but first, Let's look ahead to opening weekend right here in 2018. One of the best of the early games, we'll highlight it there. The Giants in for a stern test at home at MetLife Stadium as they'll square off against the Jacksonville Jaguars. As for the 4 o'clock game, some good ones there as well. One being in Charlotte, where it'll be the Panthers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. And finally on Monday night, a doubleheader to start the new year. The Jets and Lions in Matt Patricia's debut, followed by Rams-Raiders in the return of John Gruden to Oakland. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Credit the tackle to Navarro Bowman.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Go. Waiting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, Adams. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. Adams. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run again with Adams. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
On first down, Adams. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Darren Sproles, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On third down, Ryan. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Play action, Ryan. Looking for his tight end on the corner, it's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
On second down, here's Ryan. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll try to run for it with Smith. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And Bryant's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
Bryant now, after hitting the field goal, gets set to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Wentz looking very much like his pre-injury self. He's got the Eagles on the move with a 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Adams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
But he was advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that. But I think that they were right about this one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw is Wentz. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz from 6 yards away. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. Elliott good with a PAT, and that will make this a 19-point game. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Defensively, it was Avonte Maddox with a tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. And Jones has it over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a 1st. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are
It's caught inside the 25. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons get a bit closer.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. So that drive 6 plays, 75 yards. And Tevin Coleman polished it off with a touchdown run. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look close.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
So they move from 136 over to the other as they come up on first down.
Here we go. Waiting.
On the carry, here's Clement. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. Well, you said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
That's the point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets a 9. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Shotgun now for Wentz. The quick slant caught. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll go to Adams, try to pound it in, and he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Josh Adams with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker that says, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The left side completion to Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now Ryan on 1st down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Chris Long in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. On 2nd down, Ryan on the screen. This is Coleman. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now it's Ryan. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's got Sanu. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nigel Bradham leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. Looking to throw on second down. Ryan, Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. On third down, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here we go. It's Ryan on fourth down. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
It is just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for Philadelphia, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.